Chromebooks available? Ooh, unfortunately, okay. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to use Google Sheets to kind of see what it can do in reference to scatter plots and linear regressions and things like that. And so we're going to start with one that you already have, that we collected your data for. We're going to play with that. And then we're going to do a more of a project-based one. We're going to start the process today, finish it tomorrow. Okay. So in your Google Classroom, you should have an assignment that you can reach either here in the upcoming, or you could go to classwork and find it, and it says using sheets for scatter plots. All right. You okay, Chocolate? Do you have do you have your Chromebook? All right, and so for this activity, we're going to want to work together. So just kind of, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get ready, and then we will do the process. Oh, I'm so sad. Here we go. Sell my car. Oh, I want to do this. There we go. All right. All right. So, is everybody there? You guys are there? Anybody need more time? You need more time? Yep. Okay. Yep. Okay. We'll just wait a second, and so I'm going to be going back and forth, like blowing this up super huge so you can see what I'm typing. I'm going to type some notes in here, but you don't necessarily have to type them in. I'll let you know when you do. But basically, we're using this data to kind of explore what Sheets can do, and then we're going to do an activity, once again, to kind of have us use Sheets to solve a problem. All right, so where is, zoom in. Okay, whoa, too big. There we go, 200 is good. Yeah, I know. Okay. Okay. Cortez, are you there yet?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, good. And so this is from the Google Classroom, right? Okay. Sam, are you there, honey? Are you at the activity yet? Okay, just let me know when you are, and then we can get started. All right. So I'm just going to start to talk about what the sheet has on it. I'm going to close that. Here we go. So our sheet is both classes. So both the yellow class, which is before you, which is a really small class, and then you guys, the arm span and height data that we collected from over off the wall. Remember I had you guys measure each other and put that in a Google sheet. The first thing is this is pulled from the Google Forms, so that's why it's got this cool little all this junk around here, but it limits some of the things that we can do. So what I want you to do first actually is go to this little thing that says table menu. Do you see where I'm hovering? And you're going to click on it, and I'd like you to actually say revert to unformatted data. Okay, and when you do that, you then get this without the different coloring, but it's still outlined. What this first row is frozen, which is nice because then you can scroll down and you can still see what the title of the variables are. All right. Cool. So when we have data, we like to crunch it. We like to look at it. We try to get an idea of, is it worth examining or getting more data? So for example, kind of when I have this type of data, the first thing I want to do is look at it. I'm just going to type, so it's kind of up there. You guys don't have to type. I want to look at a scatter plot because that'll give me a visualization of what's going on. Okay, cool. And Google Sheets is pretty intuitive on making that for us. That also gives us a really easy way to find out if there's any whack pieces of data, which our table actually has. Okay, so then the next thing we would want to do is look at possibly the strength of our association, and that's calculating the correlation coefficient. Okay, so that will come up second. Then we want to do our linear regression equation, and so that involves us doing slope and y-intercept. So we'll talk about that. And then if I was really going to play around with like use this for more information, like as a predictive model, then I would plug in values. But we're not going to do it for this. We are going to do it for the other activity. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is just click into any box that has data in it, okay? So it doesn't matter where you are. You just don't want to be on like up above or outside. And then you guys have this like menu bar that goes across, right? Okay. Now your menu bar keeps going, and at some point you might get dots, at some point you might not. But your bar keeps going. Can everybody find, do you guys all have the insert link button? Do you see that? Just trying to make sure you're all in the same place. And then the next thing has a plus sign. We don't need that. But look at the symbol that's right next to that. That's almost the same exact symbol that's in our graphing calculator. Do you guys agree? So just go ahead and click on that and look what pops up on your screen. And I'm going to zoom back out so you can see what just happened there. Did everybody get like this guy? No?
I'm not seeing the.
Okay, so let me go back. Boing.
Oh, I found it now.
You found it? Okay, well, that's okay. I want to kind of fix mine anyways. Doing. All right, so once again, over here, there's this crazy button, and I'm clicked here, and I'm going to press that, and it throws this on here. So it might throw this part up here, the chart editor. We'll get to that in just a minute. But as we're looking at this, let's just see what it did. It took my X variable and put it down here, labeled it, my Y variable on the side. I have a whole bunch of points up here, but does everybody see that there's 2 points that look a little bit rough? Yeah, okay. So looking at these points, I have 1 point way over here, and if I hover on it, usually it will tell me the data. Maybe it's not right now. Let me try to hover again. You can click on it maybe. Nope. Oh, there it is. So when I hover on it, do you see how it says 29, arm span 29? So and I don't know who put that data in, but nobody in this room is 29 inches tall. That's like 2.5 feet. Okay.
That's not taller than
It's not very tall. Now, the other piece of data that's a little bit rough is this one down here. Now, that one has a height of 72 and an arm span of 31, which actually could be almost accurate. They might have just forgot to add on the 40, but we don't know what error was made. So we don't want to use that piece of data either. Does that make sense? So we go back to our table, and we're going to look for these two pieces of data, and we are going to delete them. So let me zoom in. Whoa. Slow down there, Bob. There we go. So if I go over here, and the very last piece of data, do you guys see down here in row 24 is the 2929? Yeah. I'm just going to delete that. Delete 29, delete 29. And that point's going to disappear. And also, my graph axis just shifted automatically for me because I don't need to show that. Now I'm going to go and find the 31, and it's in row 10. And once again, I'm going to delete both parts of it. I'm going to delete the 72 and its buddy, 31.
Oh, that looks nice.
Okay, and now I should have a set of points that look like that.
Yeah.
Now, our axis is a little bit off, and so we're going to do two things to then just play with the chart. So if you click on your chart, does everybody see the snowman? That's what they call the three little dots that are vertical?
Yeah.
The snowman in the top right corner. When you click on that, down towards the bottom, it says move to own sheet. And when you do that, then you're like it's on its own page. You can just play with it there. It still talks to the other one, so any change you make will fix the other one as well. But now it's like we can just focus on this lovely chart. So I'm going to go copy chart or move to own sheet. And now you can see I have sheet 1, which is where my table is at, and chart 1, which is my chart. Okay. Let me also do one more thing here to maximize my space. I think it's this F11. Nope, F11. Nope. Control F11. Function F11. There we go. Thanks. All right. So if you notice, the x-axis goes from essentially 62, but this might be a 61. Yeah, 61 up to 73. But our y-axis starts at 0. Do you guys think we need it to start at 0? Nah. Okay. So up here, another set of menus. We want to edit our chart. Okay. So when I click on Edit Chart, we get a whole setup over here to the side. So a couple things I want you to notice. It picked a scatter chart for us. It's what we want. We don't want a histogram. We would, these are the things it's suggesting. We don't want any of that. So I'm happy with the scatter chart. It tells me where my data is. So remember on a spreadsheet, it uses letters for columns and numbers for rows. It tells us what we want for the x-axis and the y-axis. Everything is good there. Use row 1 as headers. Use column A as labels. We didn't necessarily need that. The customize is where we're going to find things that are going to make it more interesting. So go over to your customize button. And if you go down to the vertical axis, that's where we can change where our vertical axis starts. And we don't need it to start at 0. In fact, our lowest value is 59. So we can start our axis at 50. And so you just type in 50. And I think it'll just give it a second. It'll adjust. And so now what's nice, and I'm going to just close my chart editor so I have full screen. Can you guys all see now that it's positive, right? Instead of looking less flat. Do you guys feel like it's a strong correlation? Yeah. Points are pretty close. You can see some of the things that occurred when you were making the plot, where those points were lined up vertically, and that's because we were using integers.
Can you put it in the middle?
Hello. Yeah. Yes, I will send it. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Yep. Hey, Kayla. Oh, Miss Dieter just called for you to go to room 243. Can you take a break on what you're doing? Head down? Okay.
How do you change the thing?
Can you give me more detail? What's that? The pass is in there, you're good to go.
What it starts at.
So that the axis?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's change the axis that was back in edit chart. So up above, edit chart.
Like I'm in the customized part, I just don't know.
Down vertical axis. Yeah. And then all I did was I changed my minimum to 50. There we go. Cool. Thanks for your patience, everybody, while we do this together. All right. So now our goal then is to make an equation, okay, in correlation coefficient. So a couple things about the chart, and then this is something also that, of course, any of these programs have help sections. So for example, if I go here to help and it says function list, does everybody see that? Yeah. I'm going to pull that up. And what's in here is just a massive database of all the different functions that are available. So it says filter with a few keywords. I'm just going to start to type in CORR for correlation, maybe a little bit more. Come on, there it is, Correl. Do you guys see where, all right, do you want Pearson? No, I want Correl. Okay, so it says calculate the correlation coefficient of a data set. But look here what it says. So I type in Correl, and then you see how it says data Y, data X? Okay, so let's talk about Y. When we are making linear equations, slope, right? Slope is rise over run. Do you guys remember that? Yeah. Yeah, so guess what? Change in Y over change in X. So whenever you're doing anything for these formulas, we have to do our Y values first and then our X values second. And it always does this thing called a range. So I'm going to escape out of this. Escape. I think I can get out of it. Oh my gosh, I need my function F11. There we go. There we go. I'm going back here. So when I want to look at like all the numbers and talking about them together, like B2 is the top of the list. Do you guys agree with that for Y? B2 is the top. B23 is the bottom of the list. Okay, so we're going to get there. A2, A23. All right, so let me blow up. Once again, we're making lots of blow up here. Okay, so the one thing that Sheets doesn't do well for you is it doesn't, like, I can say, hey, I want you to find the sum, but then that number is just floating in space. It's not labeled. So what we're going to do is just type 3 words right here. We're going to put Correl, C-O-R-R-E-L, for correlation coefficient. And then underneath that, we're going to do y-intercept. And underneath that, we're going to do slope. And that way, when we do these calculations, we'll know what they stand for, okay? So those are in column C. All right, so now I'm ready to go into column B, and this is where I'm actually going to do the calculations. Okay, so if you type your equal sign, it's going to get excited and look at, notice how it automatically pulls up average, because that's what it wants to do. Like, it's intuitively like, I want to do an average. That technically would be our y bar value, but we don't need the average. We want Correl, so C-O-R-R. Do you see how it comes up? Okay, I'm going to hit tab. And notice that it capitalized and put in a parenthesis. So now this is where I have to put I want your y values, and then I want your x values. So our y values are B2, and notice how it turned yellow. Do a colon, which is the dot, B23. Do you see how it highlighted the column B list? Then you put a comma, and now you have to do the A list. So you do the same exact thing. A2 colon A23. And when you hit enter, your correlation coefficient is going to plop into that box. How'd you guys do? Does anybody need help? Okay. So can you see this part right up here, kiddo?
Yeah.
So do you have Correl typed in? Did you type in B2 colon B23?
Yeah.
Did you put a comma?
Yeah.
A2 colon A23.
Yeah.
Just hit enter.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yay. Now that's an extremely long decimal.
Yeah.
3 decimal places are usually good. Do you guys see the dollar sign up at the top?
Yes.
And then there's the decimal moving symbol. You can decrease it to 3 decimal places, and it's really awesome because it will round for you as it'll do the rounding appropriately. So we have a correlation coefficient of 0.928. That's pretty strong. It's linear, positive. Life is good. Okay, so now, y-intercept. It's only programmed to do intercept, so the y-intercept is intercept. And if we wanted to Google it, we could, but we won't. So we're just going to put equals, and now we type in intercept, I-N-T-E-R, and do you see how it pulls up intercept?
Yeah.
And then it says y-intercept of a line derived via linear regression. So it's telling you the definition. So just hit tab. You're going to put the same exact thing in, B2 colon B23, comma, A2, comma, colon A23.
What's the first one, B2?
Yeah, it's a B, B2. So it's like, yeah, I made it a lowercase b by accident. So yep, you're going to get a negative number. So I'm just going to go back to this chart. If we made the corner of the chart 0, 0, it would actually be below, right? And do we ever have, we don't have heights of 0, except for when we're in the womb. And even, I guess, the little tiny embryo might not have an arm span at that point. Terrible. Okay, so back to our sheet. All right, so once again, I'm going to back this guy up to, I'm going to do the nearest 10th. So, boink, 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 boink. Is he all good? Okay, good. All right, last one we need to do, slope. All right, so slope equals, start off with your equals and start typing slope, and slope should come right up. Right, third letter in, there it is, slope of a line from a linear regression. So we hit tab, it opens up the parenthesis, so it's B2 to B23, comma, A2, A23. You can use your mouse and highlight areas. I just find it easier to type it, especially if you don't have like an actual mouse. Okay. So I'm going to close that, hit enter. You should get the number 1.26. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to take that number. I'm going to back it up to the nearest hundredth. Do you mean to go? What I typed in is right up here. You see it? Yep. Yeah, sorry about the orange. I don't pick the colors. All right. So basically then, if we are going to go ahead and make an equation, a linear regression with this information, on page 15 of your notes, it tells you that the equation is y hat equals a plus bx, right? So if we were going to use this information that we got from our Google sheet, we would have y hat. I don't think it can do the symbol, so I just type y hat equals. So the y-intercept is negative 16.5 plus 1.24x. And then remember that when we have these, we don't usually do what's called extrapolation. We wouldn't go outside the range of data. So we would only use this equation for data between like 58 and 74 inches. Like we wouldn't go past that. All right. All right. Last thing we're going to do in this, and then we move on to our next activity. Okay, so this one, and it's okay if you've made mistakes on this. You're going to, and when we're done, you're going to submit it, so it'll kind of show that you participated in the classwork. We want to go back to the chart one more time. So if you are not on this page, if you could go back to the chart when you're ready, please do that. And we're going to do one more edit.
Can you go back to the sheet?
Yeah, sheet.
Wait, what are we doing?
So hang on, I'm going back to the sheet.
I just need the y hat.
The y hat equals, do you see it? Ooh,
Yeah.
you see it there?
Oh,
Did you lose dots, Emma?
yeah.
Yeah? It's okay. So, and this is the deal. You're learning how to do something you've never done before, right? So it's okay. You're all right. I'm not sure what happened, and that's all right. Yes, please. Thank you so much.
I low-key left like 2 of the things blank.
Okay. We'll do the best we
I
can.
did everything else.
Okay, cool. All right. So now I'm going to go back to the chart, and there's my stuff, right? So the last thing your chart can do is exactly kind of what we did. If we go to edit chart and you go back to customize, the second, well, actually the third one down. So it goes chart style, chart axis and titles. So you could change the title. That's just what it did generically. If you go into series, this is where the cool thing is. And so you're going to need this for your next activity. If you scroll down where it says series and keep going, at the very end, there's this thing that says trend line. And this is pretty awesome because remember, the very first thing I said, when you have all this data, you want to see a picture that goes with it. Our picture looks linear. So when we hit trend line, it's going to bounce in a line. But if our data was not linear, we could change it to exponential. Do you see how I just made a subtle curve? I could change it to logarithmic. What? You know, I could change these. And then what's interesting is you can also scroll down a little bit farther and just see how it says label, say use equation. And it will throw the equation in, and that it does it mx plus b, right? But that's what we had. Pretty cool, huh? So once again, our goal is to understand that, yes, collecting data takes time, but then if we get good data, we can technology can help us analyze it really fast. Yeah, so it says R squared. R squared is a little dangerous. We don't want R squared. R squared is not the linear regression, or not the correlation coefficient. It's something different. All right. So we don't need to type that in. We're good there. Okay. Or I should be on linear. Where'd it go? Series. Linear. Yep. Okay. So now we're going to close. Actually, so you're going to close it and submit it. So in your Google Classroom.
Wait, Mr. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in the classroom after, right? Like the work or not?
It's going to be, yes.
Okay.
This video will be in there, and then you'll just follow the video to do the stuff.
Yep.
You're going to be great. Okay. So I'm going to close this. You guys are going to submit yours, and I'm going to hand out a worksheet.